back to the Berg Podcast. Thanks for joining me today. With me today is Ford.
Hey, how's it going?
And Dan.
Hey, everybody.
And today is our 200th episode of the podcast. And I thought that was worth talking about.
Yeah. It's kind of a crazy number.
200 is kind of crazy. I mean, it's not quite 4 years. Ford just mentioned it. We're encroaching 4 years here, and we'll probably have to acknowledge that in a couple of weeks or 2 months or whatever that is. But yeah, 200 episodes. It's wild. I was just saying, I forget who told me this, and I really should have looked it up before we started recording. But
that wouldn't be our style, right?
No, that's definitely not us. But I think Alex or Clay, maybe, who helped us a long time ago with the podcast when we were getting
200 episodes ago.
Yeah, 190 roughly. Because they were like something. They told us at that point that the average podcast makes it about 10 episodes, and so at least from a volume perspective,
we have overperformed.
Our library has overperformed for sure. Yeah.
Well, sure. And what's funny about it is we've started to bring on guests. So over the whole course of it, we would have guests, but it was internal, right? It was have someone who works with us, somebody on our team, and we've started to be a little bit more external lately. And having some other people on and broaden it. But you think about it, I mean, we really did probably 190 episodes. It was just the three of us just talking about who knows what. Not a great plan of what we're going to talk about, but we're going to talk.
Yeah.
What do you think? It was about 50-50, like a real subject versus us just, prevaricating for a half hour? I mean, I'm just ballparking. I mean, I know in the beginning we started out, we had some real strong messages we wanted to get out. And as it goes, as things happen, we definitely use it for that particular thing. But then there's times that we, meander slightly.
I feel like I think it'd be higher than that we're more on specific topics than you think. I bet you, I don't know that it would be 3/4, but I bet you it'd be like 65, 66%. Like, 2 out of 3. I think we're probably...
It feels like it goes in runs, so like for a while we'll have a very specific topic. Like and I know we just did it, but I'm thinking about the book, right? So like the book felt like...
That felt like forever.
20 episodes.
How many chapters were in that book?
10% of all of our podcasts for that book.
Like 20% of
Ford's only book.
Ford's only books. But I feel like maybe that's why I feel a little like I'm hedging towards your number being higher. But we do kind of go in runs, and
we do.
There's been times where like every other episode is
something about nothing.
So I was talking about nothing, or we thought we were going to talk about something, and it turned into nothing.
Yeah. I was not counting when we go on a topic and then maybe get off the tracks. I was
counting the times where we were supposed to talk about something and got derailed.
Because then you're down in the 30%.
That's fair.
Staying on topic, not my strong suit.
Not our strong suit. I think that we've all acknowledged that we all have some version of ADD, which is undiagnosed and was us just being normal human beings.
Yeah. That used to be just being a human being.
Yeah.
Then we diagnosed it.
Now we've diagnosed it, and it means that you can't pay attention to things for very long. And social media, Ford probably knows the stats on that, but social media has definitely made it worse. There used to be like 7 minutes of an attention span. And
I heard it's like 15 seconds or something ridiculous.
Oh my gosh. It has to be. Otherwise, why would a reel only be like 20 to 30 seconds long?
Ford, you know what? Yeah. I don't think Ford was in the conversation when you and I were talking about it. We were in the car. We were talking about it in the car the other day, that generationally, Tori brought up a question, and generationally, at Ford, it was the craziest thing happened. So, Brian, explain people answering the phone now, generationally.
Yeah. So I just heard this. Maybe have you heard this? This is a social media thing that I just saw recently, and it was a recruiter, and he was talking about like calling people to interview them because they've submitted applications, interest in working for their company. And he said, it's like the I don't know which generation. I think we said maybe Alpha.
We said Alpha.
So like the kids who might just be entering the workforce.
Right,
so
like 15
or older.
Or younger. I'm sorry, 15 or younger.
Yeah, and it's probably maybe just a hair older than that. So like maybe it bleeds into the generation before that. But anyways, the premise is that this guy calls people, and it's happens like a lot now. It's not just like a brand new thing once or twice. He calls people because they want to phone screen them or interview them, and they don't respond when they pick up the phone. They pick up the phone, but don't answer the phone. They don't say anything. So, and he'll have to be like, "Hey, hello, is somebody there?" And then they'll be like, "Yeah, yep, someone's here." And he's like, "Well, I'm looking for, whatever their name is." And they'll say like, "Yeah, that's me." And he's like, "Oh, well, you didn't say anything, so I wasn't sure if there was anyone on the line or not." And they're like, and
you called me.
Yeah. They said, "Well, you called me." And he's like, "Well, yeah, but you didn't." Usually, like the normal response would be to answer the phone. Like you create a response when someone calls you. And he said that like it's like this whole thing where young people have
developed,
perceived it as you entering their space. Like you've come to them, so why would you not initiate the conversation? And I just found that so strange because I can't imagine like not acknowledging having picked up the phone.
Yeah. Well, and so forth. So I'm warning you because you're behind me and Gen something beyond alpha once they split it. Mara does this with getting off the phone. So you'll be talking to Mara and I'll, whatever the conversation is, and I'll say like, okay, so then yes, I'll pick you up at, I'll be there after practice. I'll pick you up at 7:00. Dead silence. And I'll be like, Mar?
But
yes?
To be honest, I know where she learned that.
Erin is not the best. Erin is, see, you're trapping me here. She doesn't listen to the podcast anyway. Erin is not a strong phone communicator at times. It's a lot of silence. But Mara, the funny part is when I asked her about it, she said almost the same thing, that she was like, well, we were done. And I was like, well, how do I know that? And it was basically like, well, you called me. You said when you're going to pick me up. Fine.
Yeah.
But I wanted her to like acknowledge it. And I said, you have to say, okay, goodbye. Okay. Thank you. Something. So I know we're done talking.
I'm just thinking about it conversationally, like a normal conversation. We talk, like, I don't know. I can't imagine.
There's an opening and a closing.
I think because they're so used to texting though, that
that's it. It's just over.
I mean, because you think about it, if someone sends you a text and like you read it and it isn't needing to have a reply, you don't say goodbye anymore. You know what I mean? I'm thinking like, I'm trying to figure out how this works because I was joking, but I was in the car with Dan and he's like talking to his lovely significant other, and there's just dead space in the conversation. And I'm like, someone hang up, and there's just silence.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't imagine walking away from
a
conversation though. Like,
she's still going to say something. She's just, there's like an Ernie Mass level delay. Like when, and I love Ernie, but Ford always says there's no more awkward conversation than me and Ernie. I'm going to talk 100 miles an hour and Ernie's going to be Ernie very slow. Yeah. And I'm trying to wait, but I don't know if he's done or if this is just a pause in between words.
Yeah. I have an Ernie Mass in my life too. His name's Dick Eby.
Okay.
And it's so funny because like Dick is that guy. He like really nice older gentleman, wisdom beyond his years, has held some like pretty cool positions in companies. And you talk to him and it's just like you're waiting for an acknowledgement, a response, and then it's like, well, I saw that the dues checks came in for Kiwanis or whatever it might be, and it's so funny because a couple of years ago I was talking to Tom Fanning, and he knows Dick Eby as well, and Barry Baldwin went to school with Dick, and they called him Turbo. And I was like, oh my gosh! So he's been that guy since high school.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, well, it's not like an age thing. It's just this is just who he is.
Yeah.
And also in the older time when people were like that, you always assumed they were being very thoughtful about what they were saying,
deliberate,
right? Like they were really like deliberating and not just spitting out words. But that's a crazy thing that they don't. I mean, I'm not sure that all of that generation even understand that their cell phones make calls.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's a whole.
I mean, they probably are looking at their phone when it rings and like, what is going on here? Because to them, it's a multimedia device. It is not.
They also don't hold it to their ear a lot. Like Mars generation and has phones, they're always on either FaceTime or speaker.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I was trying to talk to you. Can you please?
Well, or like that's even the other thing I've seen a lot of.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of the people that have the video phones on, like out in public, like they're having a full blown we talked about this before, public conversation
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
with
everyone's-
someone, and like I don't even know, they're just hanging out literally virtually or whatever you want to call it. And it's like you're in the grocery store and you hear like the other person and there's people in the background. It's just a lot going on at the same time.
Yeah, it used to be, and I am like at fault of this at times, like having conversations with my headphones in. So I'm walking around and I'm talking, and like you're walking through other people's space, and that used to be a thing, right? People
Yeah,
would
that's
be
still
like,
annoying to me.
people would be like, "Oh, are you talking to me?" And like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm on the phone." But now the speakerphone is like the next step in exaggerating
the next
same
step
thing,
in
right?
intrusion into everybody's
Yeah,
space.
because you're inviting that person into the space, right? Like, so like this is a common space, and now I'm going to bring the person on the phone into
even
that space.
like even the
And-
Charlotte, who Charlotte lost her phone for I don't know how long. Erin is enjoying her not having a phone so much that she
Yeah.
just continues to extend how long she can't have it. There's not even a punishment. I'm not even sure why the poor kid can't have her phone.
just not allowed to have it.
She's not going to have
Yeah.
it. And but Charlotte would walk around with it on FaceTime and like walk right by you. All of a sudden, you're in the conversation, like you're on camera. Like I don't even know what was going on. I'm not even. This is your friend. Like why am I on the camera?
Right. Yeah.
But just because that's where I was. She's completely desensitized to any like level of privacy of a phone call.
Yeah.
Now, she's not saying anything private, I guess, but but still, it's a really odd.
Addie doesn't do that. Addie still wants to be. Addie does the FaceTime a lot, but she still wants it to be a private conversation. So she'll pick it up and then go to a different room
Yeah.
or go somewhere else. But Snapchat. Did your kids do Snapchat?
They don't do that yet.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
have not opened the floodgates
Yeah.
of social media yet.
No, that's reasonable. You should stay away from it as long as possible.
Forever.
Yeah,
As long as
I'm
you
trying
can.
to get away from it. I think.
My kids do Snapchat because at one point, like iMessage and like messaging stopped existing for them, and they only communicate through apps, like so through Snapchat or Instagram direct messages or whatever. But Addie, pretty consistently, like I will like be in the background of whatever picture she's taking if it's at home, and it's intentional. She's like. It's like her version of saying like I'm with my parents, but you don't say that. You take a picture of like half of your face with your mom or dad in the background, and so I'm like, "Are you taking a picture of me?" And she's like, "No, I'm snapping." I'm like,
Oh,
"Yeah, okay."
I'm like, I'm still in that picture. I mean, it's still a picture and I'm in it. So
right, yeah. So,
You know,
I would actually, jumping back to our original topic, but I'd love to know from those guys if the 10 episode thing has extended because of so many podcasts being out there. Like, I mean, when we started podcasting, it wasn't like I didn't know much about it. Let's put it that way. It might have been big out there, but I didn't know much about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, now like you'll have a literal conversation with someone about like what podcast they listen to. I mean, like that's a whole thing almost. So I don't know. I wonder if it like went from 10 to 12 episodes on most podcasts length of time just because of the volume of podcasts that are out there in space. You know, then the thing with the 1.5 speed where you like listen to it at time and a half, and I'm just like, man, I'm feeling my
too old
age
for
in my
all of
bones
this.
doing that.
I do listen to podcasts. I
I
like
know you
podcasts.
do. We talk about this. You guys listen to them. I
Yeah.
generally do not.
Yeah. I think it's interesting. I think it's like there's obviously entertainment value for some of it, and some of it is I think legitimate like micro learning, like just hearing things and like I don't know. Yeah.
You know what? I think I've mentioned this to Brian. Ford has not. I would virtually never send Ford like a reel that I thought was funny. That's just not going to happen.
Sure.
I would tell him about it or something.
Yeah.
But I don't care if it's the babies or the adult. But the construction guys is like Ricky the Boss and somebody else, and Brian, they're hilarious. They had one the other day. I thought about it when you said Turbo, and it was about nicknames. Oh my God, the nicknames! The nicknames were so hilarious that I'm not even going to go into it. But I'll show it to you later. But it was so us again, like so construction. How everybody has everybody has nicknames.
That's funny.
That's like we gotta figure out a way to get that guy on the podcast. It's gotta be
get
funny.
the nickname guy.
Yeah.
Turbo.
Yeah, well, we could get Turbo, but it's going to be an extended. If we could have a guest of it, I'm not going to be there. Ford, you won't be there, but it'll be Brian and Ernie and Dick.
Oh,
there we go.
And before we do it, we're going to have a guess on how many words will get said by not Brian.
Yeah. It'll be a long conversation.
You might get Ernie introduced. It might. I think that can happen.
Yeah. And then that'll be it. It'll just be a lot of slow talk.
Just a lot of slow talk.
Yeah.
So I don't know what else we got coming up. We got in August. We got the next outing coming up.
Yeah.
With the team, so that's exciting. A different thing. We all decided we try and look at a different thing. Sierra was talking to Aubrey yesterday. Aubrey came over, was talking to Sierra.
Yeah.
And I think Aubrey's going to go.
Oh.
And so I was excited.
Well, Aubrey usually goes.
Aubrey goes sometimes, but then like Aubrey, she's so quiet.
She brings her nephews.
She does. But like she's quiet. And I was like, Aubrey, like you got to find your group. Like figure out who you want to hang out with. Like I want you to be there. And she was like, I know. It's just, she's so quiet. Which I should be used to because of Erin, but she's like a different version of quiet. Maybe it's just I know Erin better. I don't know Aubrey outside of this. You got a bug flying.
I got a bug circling my head here.
But it was funny. I talked to Sierra afterwards, and she was like, "Yeah, I was talking to Aubrey. Aubrey's going to go." I was like, "Wait, Aubrey's going to go and hang out?" And she was like, "Yes." All right,
that's great.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but we got that coming up. It's going to be at Golf Center. I'm excited. I think it'll be fun for everybody. Because that place changed after that massive fire they had.
I know.
So I think between the miniature golf, race card, or the go-karts, the bowling and actual driving range stuff, I think there's something for everybody there. I think we can get some good participation. The girls asked me if they could bring their own go-kart and dirt bikes. I informed them they could not.
Yeah,
I said that was probably not allowed.
It's against the rules.
Yeah, so I think they think theirs would go faster.
Tell them they're governed there.
Yeah,
they're not gonna. They don't even understand what that is.
They don't know what that means, but they're going to find out.
Yeah,
the first time they go to
out
ride those go-karts, and be like, why are these so slow?
Why do these not go?
Insurance, girls. Insurance. That's why.
Full throttle.
Yeah, full throttle.
Insurance really another fun thing.
Yeah.
Ford, I don't know if we talked about this, and we're just going all over the place because this is us talking about nothing other than the fact that we've been doing this. You think about the things we've covered, right? I mean, some of our favorite topics are talking about food, which lately Brian and I have been on a cheesesteak kick.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but I apparently need to eat a lot of unhealthy cheesesteaks that are delicious.
Yeah, we've eaten out a couple times, and it's been mostly like cheesesteak related.
Yeah, cheesesteak related. We started splitting sandwiches for it. So he would get like the roast pork or the roast chicken, and I get a cheesesteak, or vice versa, and then we get half of each sandwich.
Okay. When you said splitting sandwich, I'm like, okay, you like having half each, but you're saying like, okay, you want to try
we
different
two
things.
Sandwiches for it.
Well, what's that thing called? The mukbang or something? I've heard like people order like a bunch of food, and then they only like try a little bit of like, I don't know. I've seen something about where like they go to Taco Bell and order like 30 items and then just only eat like, and I was like, that's, I mean, very decadent. And
I didn't know that was a thing.
We were raised in a way that like we weren't allowed to leave food on the table because there's starving kids in Africa, according to our parents, and which is right or wrong, but that was just a story we got told.
There are starving people.
Yeah.
A starting place, a lot of people, but that was just like, you better not leave any food on your plate because, people that need it. And then to order 30 items from a fast food restaurant and eat like a bite out of each is a very interesting thing.
Is that what that is? So Tori was trying to tell me what this was, mukbang. And
I don't know what it is. So
I thought it was when you eat a lot of food, but is it when you just sample foods, or is it both? Is it?
I don't know.
That's the reference I got to it. It wasn't from, it was from something unrelated. It wasn't from a TikTok or any of that stuff. I don't have it, but someone was talking about, they like ordered a bunch of stuff and then tried all of it, but didn't actually like,
didn't
I don't know if they saved it all and ate it later. Right. But they basically are like, okay, half a bite of a burrito, bite of a taco bowl, bite of this, bite of that. And just like,
Brian's taking the
as being an old person, I'm like, man, my tummy would hurt too much. I don't even want to think about doing that.
Brian's taken to try and tell me that Taco Bell is a healthy option. He has some specific thing that is his healthy option.
Yes. So over by the office, there are actually a plethora of fast food options. And I try to mostly avoid all of them. But every once in a while I don't have a lunch and I don't have something to eat. And I want to try and be a reasonable human being and not like, just because I don't have lunch doesn't mean I should eat like a 12-piece chicken from Popeyes, right? So
they're
or 14 of the Cinnabons.
They come in 12 packs, Brian says.
Twos or 12s. Yeah, you take your pick. But no, Taco Bell is they're a reasonable option if you like. You get like they have like a 3 taco combo or something like that. But you do chicken instead of ground beef, and they've got something called like fresco style, where it's like no cheese or anything, but they just put pico on there instead. So
That's Brian's
Okay.
go-to now.
it's actually like a pretty reasonable meal. So I think it's like 150 calories per taco. So you figure you get out of there 3 tacos for
Less than
450
500,
calories or something in that nature.
Yeah, after practice last night, the girls come home on this was the last one, but they come home on Thursdays for practice, and it's in Conshohocken, and so there's lots of places we could go, but we've talked about it with the way that prices have escalated. You take a family of 5 out, you're spending some money.
Yeah, it costs them. No matter where
So
you
I wanted to go to El Limon, which is like this little Mexican restaurant that grew, and there's probably like 6 or 7 of them now, and just get tacos because it's like reasonable. They wanted to go to Chipotle, and I do like Chipotle. Or I just said it wrong. How does Tori want me to say it?
Chipotle.
Chipotle. Yeah, that's. So I got it, and after I ate it, Brad, I was like, God, why did I do this again? Like it was only a bowl. I didn't even eat a burrito, but it's so much food when you do like the rice and the beans, and it's delicious. And I ate it, but then afterwards I was like, yeah, this.
What's your Chipotle order?
I like carnitas with black beans, and then I'll get both rices.
Mm-hmm.
And then lettuce. I like the corn salsa, the mild salsa. Put queso on it and cheese. And that's
I
it.
gotcha.
The
I
girls
try
like to
to-
put the fajita veggies on there.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I like that. Well, I'm trying to go like high protein, high fiber, right? So I usually will like double chicken, brown rice, guac, the fajita veggies.
Yeah.
But
Excuse me, sir. Would you know that's an extra $2.50 for that one scoop of guacamole?
it's insane. $3 for like 2 tablespoons of guacamole. I
So,
know.
well, and here's the thing: you got to go to Chipotle or Chipotle, whatever. With
I think it's just a spelling thing.
I don't know.
I think you're putting.
I think it's New Jersey.
I think you're putting letters in the wrong place.
I don't know, but you got to go with Charlotte. I don't know how she does it, but she asks for more of certain things for sure. She says she doesn't, but she'll be like, "Could I have a little bit more of that?" And so she doesn't get double. She just asks for more.
Oh,
Right. And then she gets these burritos that can't possibly be wrapped.
Yeah.
And I'll show you the picture later of the one. It's like a 5-pound burrito. Like she gets it and there's no way to even eat it as a burrito. Like she knows she wants a bowl. Like she knows this is not going to, she can dump half of it out and still have, she got, Brian, it looked like an actual container of guacamole. Like she must have said, could I have a little more? And the guy she said, he put so much. It was like a container of guacamole on her burrito.
that's wild.
They were like working together to try to wrap it.
Double charge her? No.
No, they didn't charge. They charged me the same price as. I don't know how she does it. She's amazing with this.
I think
I add anything, and they're like, "Oh, that's going to be extra."
Well, there was like a whole social media thing with Chipotle where they used to their servings used to be enormous, and it seemed like they were trying to be more reasonable about it, which apparently made a lot of people really angry on social media. And so I think it's a thing, right? I think now, like, if you ask for a little more, they're just like, all right, we don't want this to be
We don't want it to be a thing.
a social media backlash, so just give it to them.
Just pour it on.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that's got to be part of it.
So what you get? Double chicken?
Double chicken.
Okay.
Yeah.
You probably like that hot. Do you see right now they're running like hot honey chicken or something?
Yeah, that's good.
that's
Yeah,
pretty
I like that. Yeah. I do like the hot honey on whatever.
Whatever. Ford, do you have any?
Kind of like Frank's. Frank's put that on everything, right?
Yeah,
Put that on
exactly.
everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Way to censor yourself, buddy.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
I know. We don't even have to ask Aiden to cut that out.
No. So I mean that's some of our favorite topics. The guys like, or when we talk about just food or nothing. You know what I mean? Just talking about everything. But it's been interesting. It's been in 200 episodes. One of the crazy things has been to see other people comment on, "Hey, I listened to your podcast." You know, when we're not out in the open, we're not like wandering down the street and someone says, "Hey, I listened to your podcast."
Sure,
but in work-related scenarios,
That
where
doesn't
people
happen to you? You're not like local celebrity people. Are like,
no, not at all.
Oh, it's Dan from
No,
the Bird
not, that,
Podcast.
it happens to Ford. You know what I mean? Ford anywhere. Ford could land on the moon and someone would walk up and be like, "Hey, it's Ford." So, which is ironic because Ford says he doesn't want to be noticed.
I think it's the
And then I
stickers.
crawl back in a hole.
I think when we started putting stickers of his face around places, people were
License
like,
plates and stuff.
I know that face from somewhere.
Yeah.
I think
could
that was
be
one
it.
of the funniest things. That like I think it's still in some places. Like they lasted forever. And that was what 6-8 years ago we did that. You guys did that while I was out of town or something. And it was like
Yeah, it's been a while.
hysterical.
We,
Well,
I got into the
Acadia. I was just going to say that. I got into the Acadia and I went to look in the rearview mirror and there it was.
there he
Ford's
is.
face right on the back window. I was like, that's good.
Yeah.
She said that you couldn't take that off. She said when she went low, she's like, "That's got to stay. Got to hope it stays on."
gotta
Like
go.
that.
I mean, we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? Ford, when it could happen again. Ford, who knows what Brian and I are up to?
I mean, hey,
Yeah.
don't you leave town?
You leave town a little bit. Everything's free game. You just got to be careful because there's a lot of cameras. So.
Yeah, a lot of cameras.
It's not like the old days.
Couldn't sneak around the way we used to.
No, but I think with the podcast, like just jumping back to it, as far as like, I think it has like it's a difficult thing to determine the value of it. I mean, I think part of the value is the three of us actually getting in a room together because we're all doing different things. Sometimes I think sometimes it's the value that the team gets from it because we might have something in particular. It's a way for us to communicate, and it's one of those things like we've gone back and forth as we've gotten this close to 200. Like, what are we doing with it? And it's like on one side we have to keep it going because we do have this consistency, and consistency matters in a lot of things. But it is kind of a weird thing of like, we've asked you guys, the team members, to reach out to us with stuff that they wanted us to do because, we like to do it, but at the same time, we want to make sure that it's still, creating some kind of communication with the team.
Ford, I was thinking we've asked them lots of times to communicate with us and say like, hey, tell me what you want to hear about, and we don't get it much. Maybe I tell them I do not want to hear from you. Like, do not tell me what you want me to talk about. Do not send me an email. Do not text me and say, hey, just leave me alone. I don't want to hear from you guys. Maybe we'll try that. Do you think it'll work?
I don't know. I think they might take offense to it.
Oh, no. Well, then that would make it real. That humanizes it because people are regularly offended by what I say. So
yeah, they might take offense to that. Like they want that, or people want the option.
They want the option.
They don't necessarily want to participate, but they want the option.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's the other thing. Ford, we made a joke with Sierra, but I think it would be funny if now that we have it set up, back at the office, and this is what, third place. We started in your office.
Yes, yeah, started in my office.
Then we moved it over to Ford's office in essence, and then now back here.
Yeah,
but I think it'd be funny if we just I randomly set up meetings. And then just say that we'll have a meeting in my office, and then somebody who has no idea they're going to be on the podcast.
We're sitting here.
We're just sitting. Hey, sit
with
here.
the empty chair.
It's convenient. You're here.
Come on in.
Come on in. Let's talk.
Yeah.
And give them no heads up. What do you think, Ford?
I like.
Well,
it.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, we have heard. We haven't. Nobody's emailed us back. We have heard people want to hear more from their other team members.
Yeah.
But a fair amount of the team members don't have any interest in doing it. We really wanted to do that. We wanted to bring more people in, but a lot of people. For some reason, we've been doing it this long that it feels pretty natural to us. But a lot of people just, it doesn't, isn't something they would feel comfortable doing.
Honestly, even Denny, when Denny came in, and Denny and Denny's a outgoing, social, very good communicator. He's a communicator. And he was he was sort of uneasy about what this was going to be like. He got lights in your face and cameras. And if you could have told me at any point in my life I was going to do this and be comfortable, I'd be like, you're crazy. I'm not doing that. But you sort of forget, it's a conversation. And when we did it, I said to Denny, you have the good seat. I said, because where I normally sit, I have a very clear look at Brian. And when you're here, I can turn, but peripherally, I can see you. But from your seat, for whatever reason, usually there's a camera in your way. I don't know why it's set up that way, but a lot of times there is. I said, so it just becomes a conversation, you know what I mean? Between you and Brian and I. So it's pretty natural. But yeah, maybe I do that. Maybe I just randomly pick somebody. Maybe we get Levi or somebody. Yeah. Just surprise Levi. But I don't know if Levi'd have to definitely sit in this seat because he's going to hit his head on the roof over there.
Yeah.
Levi's what, he's 6'3" and then some over there, that guy.
He's a big guy.
He's a big dude.
Yeah.
So I don't know that we've covered anything. This definitely goes on the we talked about nothing side.
Yeah.
I would put it in the talk about something side because I said 200 episodes. That's what we talked about.
We talked about 200 episodes.
We said a few things about that. We're on topic.
Yeah.
When did we start videoing it? Like 160 in?
Yeah, that hasn't been that long, right? Maybe.
That's a good question.
It's been longer than you think.
Yeah?
Yeah, it has been. Because we've had some trial and error here with the video, for sure. Yeah. We had
some that never saw the light.
Yes. Yeah.
That was some bloopers too, like the ones that we did where we forgot to turn our microphones on and had a really good episode, and then we didn't get it, or
we had a really
my
good
signing
episode.
in the my sighing in it, and Caden going like, "Please stop doing that," or all those funny things that like didn't even really happen.
That episode, I'm going to be aggravated forever about. That was a good episode we had, and we got done, and I went to turn the mic off and realized the mic was off, and I was like, guys, I didn't have my mic on the entire time, and I had it on because Brian has a process as one would expect, and so we checked the mic. And then I think I got up and must have hit the button and then sat back down and never turned it back on. I don't even know how I did it because it would be so unusual.
Honestly, I think we recorded 2 episodes that day.
Is that what it was?
I think.
We did one and then we stopped for a couple minutes.
That's why it was a problem. I think it's unusual. We usually do
one episode.
Like, here's what we're talking about. That's it.
But if we know one of us is going to be away on vacation or something, then we would say, okay, maybe we'll try and sneak in a second.
Let's get ahead. Let's try and get an extra one recorded or whatever. And I think that's what we did. I think we did 2 episodes that day. And in between episodes, you like got up to use the restroom or go get some water or something like that, and inadvertently turn your microphone off. Yeah, so
that was aggravating. We'll never get that one back.
No,
you can hear 2/3 of a good podcast.
We tried. I think we tried to re-record it. Right?
We did cover the topic, but it wasn't as natural. Which is that's what I like about the podcast. Even when I hear them live, right? Not listening to them later, but when I hear them live, it's an interesting conversation for me because we're talking
just naturally, whatever comes up.
Whatever comes up.
Yeah.
So. In a few weeks, we'll talk.
And then we had one. Didn't the recorder not work or something, or like the SD card went?
Yeah,
that
we
was
had
a long time ago.
We had one where the card stopped recording. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
some of the blooper reels. I was like, I should
check that. Does this card? we got 5 minutes to spare.
Ford, actually, this didn't work at all. We're gonna. Sorry about that.
Sorry, guys. I was like, that's a good point. I haven't checked that in a while. No, we're good. But we've had cameras not work, recorders not work, microphones turned off.
No, I mean, not bad for a bunch of guys who have. Well, you have a little bit of an idea what you're doing, but Ford and I,
for mostly winging it.
We're mostly winging it. We're doing pretty good.
We've done all right. Yeah.
Well, as you're talking about the guys that helped us set it up, they set up this system.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like, here, this is a budget system.
Yep.
Like, if you guys stick with this, you might want to change it. We're still rocking the same gear.
Same gear.
We
got the same
but
recorder.
like, they're like, this is kind of like the low end one because you might not actually go past 10 episodes, so we don't want you to like go crazy with it.
Right.
And we're like, hey, it works, and we're just. I mean, I remember when you took it on the road with us that one time. Like, you had the hard cases with you and everything, and I guess it worked that time.
Super professional when you did.
We're showing up with my Pelican case with microphones in it, and we looked like we knew what we were doing.
Yeah. That's the key.
Until we did it on a lunch break, and everyone was like walking in, and we're like,
fake it till you make it.
Yeah. 200 episodes. It's pretty cool in the books, and who knows? Maybe
200 more.
Maybe 200 more. Who knows?
Can we do that for?
We'll see what happens. He's like, we're not going to commit to that.
Ford out.
We're not going to commit to that.
Well, can we get like 3 AI generated things that like start having conversations together?
Yeah, but in another 4 years, like ChatGPT will have this all by itself. We're not even involved.
Yeah, we won't even do it ourselves.
Yeah, just say have a podcast.
We
about
dump
this
it a
topic.
subject and we dump it a subject and see what it says.
It just takes
about
our personalities and hits a conversation.
That would be a mess. Merge the 3 of our personalities. That would be
holy smokes.
Yeah, nobody could manage to deal with that person.
All right, that's a good place to wrap it up. Thanks, folks, for joining us. We hope that maybe you got something from this, and we do hope you come back for another episode.